Hello Libra, this is a timeless reading for you. What more or less may have caught your vibe is something in the lines of justice for Libra reading. So let me clarify a little bit before you get into your reading, Libra. Justice is an ambiguous term, and it is also merciless. Please bear in mind that I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you, and this video content is on the channel labeled as Sekhmet. So, to know a little, to know nothing, is to understand or be in dispute with her energy being of the rulings of anything having to do with justice, okay? She is the color pink, the highest form of vibrational color, known in more or less layman's terms to man. And yeah, all right, so please bear that in mind as you discern for yourself which emotions of you have you liking or not liking what you are about to listen to, okay? It is, again, not meant to do, however, exactly what it does. And the emotional consequence is not the reward for this. So it is not the end-all, be-all motivator for me, nor the energies of Sekhmet. Yeah, since we got that a little bit out of the way, what else does it mean to be a Libra? It means Libra. It means to understand however that terminology allows you to be here in this reading. Whether that's something you subscribe to knowing about, that's who you are in any placement of your astrological chart, or if you know a Libra. Advertisement to the reason as to showing up to this now is irrelevant for an explanation as to why it was chosen. Okay? I don't know why that was said, but that was it. Alright, a little bit of clarity again. I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you. Should you want to know who she is, what she's all about, and what I have to offer, her details can be found in the description box below. Please understand that I am a master healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights, such as this. Feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific. However, please do remember femininity encapsulates both feminine and masculine, and masculinity encapsulates both feminine and masculine. Create the story of resonancy however your discernment allows you to, and whatever doesn't apply, leave it behind as you leave the reading behind. All right, Libra. Justice is not easy for you to accept at this time, okay? Hanged Man is here with the Knight of Wands. So there is a lot of residual anger towards a narrative that you don't understand. Yet the things that allow you to realize that the anger is not around you anymore to trigger you, you've subtly stepped into a path of healing and are interested in it. Yeah. You're over people and their shortcomings. You're over the fact that people over dramatize their emotional discoveries, and you're underwhelmed with lack of intelligence around you. And this intelligence has nothing to do with like ticking at somebody's mental aptitude. It's more or less how they're reacting and engaging and just existing around you. And it's hard for the ego to dance in the acceptance of everything that it's just like being a witness to, knowing that you can't change the variables. More or less all those variables have been put in place by a higher form of know-how, and you can't get in the way of it. Neither do you really want to. But if you could protect yourself more from it, you probably would, but you don't want to. There's a lot of fear. This is becoming a mess to read. You had something that you very much valued, and then it kind of like maybe slipped away. You don't want to accept what slipped away. In ways you do want to fight for it. At the same time, I think this is going to be a valuable lesson to see how much energy you put into something, and then realizing in the memories of the past of how you maybe didn't show up for other things when you could have. And that is the reason why there are other lessons coming in as answers that are going to shorten the amount of distance or work or effort that you have to put into something. Because it's like mommy dearest energy of ether is coming down to discipline your ass and ask you twice whether or not you really want to repeat the shit that you doing again. Hey, what are you doing down there? What are you doing with your decisions and your choices and your broken promises and your shit that you really say that you've been someone has been like kissing ass and now realizing that doing that what they thought they were doing brought them somewhere but not where they wanted to be. And because you traveled and reached that destination in dissatisfaction to where you could be, you're looking at that journeying and they're like, oh shit, okay, oh, ooh, yeah, I guess I should have done that. Oh, I could have done a little bit more of that. I shouldn't have said that. I could have waited and responded later. I should have responded now. There's a lot of pressing things and having to do with the throat chakra, Libra, that you just weren't doing. As I'm like scratching my throat, okay? Like there are a lot of things of the verbal contracts you were putting out to ether and people listening to you, and you think they're not listening, but they're listening. Their subconscious at least is listening to you, or had been listening to you. And yet their consciousness and what you subconsciously triggered were just not in the right flow. So I think that if you've been an individual who didn't really know that you're like in a twilight zone right now, I think it might be safe to assume here that you are in a dark shadow of the soul journey of yourself right now. What are you committed to? How have you reached your accolades of mental wisdom, your mental thought? Where have you been given the transmitter of language? Who was that transmitter of language? Are you that programmed that when someone says jump that you'll jump, Libra? Or will you give yourself enough space to affirm a personal choice? And that's where the shit is coming from here, that question. There is a lot of energy in between one major arcana and another that is not necessarily harmonious. It's not about ultimate compromise here because you haven't really reached it. So not having been where you want to end up is exactly where you're learning whatever distance you have traveled of the, oh shit, oh yeah, I guess I could have done that. Oh, that's an interesting perspective. Like, oh, I don't think you give yourself enough time of space to allow the mind of the Libra scale to justify or process at least heart and feather, or left and right, pros and cons, yin and yang, feminine, masculine, masculine, feminine. There are aspects to duality that I don't think you seclude yourself away from enough to train yourself and your ego and all the various forms of what you think and is to know and process human existence. Okay, something just came in. Enough. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay. Let's keep going. The journey of keeping going is kept going. All right, Three of Wands. You say you... don't put excuses out there that will sound as if you're blaming other people rather than accepting responsibility for yourself, okay? Because I think there's going to be too many in this room who are going to be like, but. And that is just going to cause more unnecessary, like, oh, God, this is not... You might think this is it, but that's not it. But if you need for it to be it, then take that moment for it to be it, but then also address other forms of what could it maybe also be. And that's where you're going to have to learn and grow to listen to other people and other criticisms and critiques, maybe even about you or about themselves, and process other possibilities of thought, Libra, because if you don't, you're not going to be very much successful in broadening the horizons of emotional relationships that you may want outside of that +1. This is not to say that you're not surrounded by friends, but it's all individual, right? Your darkness or your version of light is maybe defined in somebody else's completely different point of view. You don't have to be equal in that perspective. You're not even equal in the footprint or the fingerprint of who you are. So to look at likeness and to exactitude it is almost insanity, because it's just never going to be imperfection. It's just not. Yet coming to some sort of flow within those possibilities of bookends of situations is very important for you to understand. You need to start allowing that seesaw of self to start providing answers for you, okay? Because you're starting to becoming confused by other people's bullshit, and you've been in that for a while. Again, if you are excusing your accountability towards something with the first sentence of that response is inclusive of somebody else's bullshit or reason or problem, then you are part of the problem. you're not seeing something. Or admitting to something. Because you see the shit. You see shit. Okay? You've seen shit, experienced some wild ass shit. I wouldn't be surprised if some of y'all had like wild, crazy ass stories like UFOs, abductions, fucking like conspiracy theories. Like you can probably run up a very fucking interesting goddamn conversation. Let's talk. However, there's a however. And since you know so much, you can figure it the fuck out. Why is that however there? Oh, the heartstrings, Libra, the heartstrings. Stop blaming other people for the injuries of your heart. Stop doing that. Oh, look at that. And this was popped out. I'd accidentally flipped some other cards out. Tower and Moon. Like, stop blaming everybody else's shortcomings as to why you also are allowing your own shortcomings. Like, seriously, Libra. Like, you know better than that. Some of you were raised better than that. Do better. Fucking here anyway. Okay, it's the third time I'm seeing it. It's finally coming out. So it's here, alright? The emotions are having you all at a clusterfuck. Okay? It's needing you to ask, how do you balance the situation? How do you balance the situation? How do you balance it for yourself? So you can accept what you're processing. It's not about what you're processing to be of righteousness or of redemption or even incredulousness. It doesn't have to have a label. But it sure as hell should not be given a label if you're not even doing the processing. So stop worrying about other people's judgments of what it is that you're not even putting on go. No. Oh, God. I don't know what I just felt. Two of Cups. That's beautiful. But does it feel beautiful? And that's where the ego's bruised. Rightly so, from the soul's perspective. And the ego at the same time is in a clusterfuck with the soul, because the ego understands why the soul is dissatisfied. Okay, anyway. Hearing one more. Let's get that one more card. Oh, my light turned off, I think. Battery is dead. Death. I don't know if y'all heard me say death. I ain't gonna say nothing with my ego. I'm not interested in triggering the wrong thing. Alright, we have the World and the Ten of Pentacles. So, are things good? Perspective. Could things be better? Maybe. Perspective. Unfortunately, everything is not only a perspective, but definitely maintaining a mystery with the Hanged Man. Because all of that which it is you're on the route of discovery to is just to finite the subtext to an already written story. So it's not about new beginnings. This isn't about endings. This is about refining. It's about refining. Interesting. You might want to clean your living space, Libra, whatever that means for you. no. Wow. Very picky here. Yes or no. Alright, we have South Node. Karma. Well, that explains a lot. I don't need to add more detail, and that just summarizes a lot. Saturn, boundaries, number 24. Your identity is asking for you to shape itself for itself. Don't rely on other people to create your own boundaries, Libra. That's just, it's gaslighting your soul. Don't gaslight your soul, Libra. Sadness doesn't make you, neither should it break you. Alright, I'm being told to leave the messages where they are. Again, should you want to contact me in any form or need any of my services or have questions, description box below has details for you. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and